This country has no natural resources, yet it's one of the richest on Earth. This island sits on top of volcanoes, yet it's one of the safest places to live. This nation is 60% desert surrounded by enemies, yet it exports water technology. This city is sinking into the ocean, yet millions visit every year, and this place ran out of oil, so it built the future instead. These are 5 places that geography says should not exist. No water, no land, no resources, no safety. But humans looked at geography and said, "Watch me." I'm Geography Facts, and today we're exploring how innovation beats geography when you're smart enough, desperate enough, or crazy enough to try. Let's start with the ultimate underdog story. Singapore. In 1965, this city-state was kicked out of Malaysia and forced to become independent. And the geographic reality was brutal. No fresh water, had to import from Malaysia. No military, surrounded by larger neighbors. No land, only 640 square kilometers, smaller than New York City. Every expert said, this country is doomed. Fast forward 60 years, Singapore is now third highest GDP per capita in the world, $88,000 plus. Second busiest port on Earth, global financial hub, one of the cleanest, safest, most efficient cities on the planet. How? Strategy. Number 1. Make more land. Singapore built 25% of its land from scratch, dredging sand from the ocean floor and expanding outward. From 580 square kilometers in 1960 to 734 square kilometers today. They literally created land out of the sea. Strategy number 2. Make your own water. Singapore built desalination plants and water recycling systems, called New Water, so advanced they now export water technology. They took their biggest weakness, no fresh water, and turned it into an industry. Strategy number 3. Become the hub. No resources? Fine. Become the middleman. Singapore positioned itself as the shipping hub between Asia and Europe, the financial center of Southeast Asia, the aviation hub, Changi Airport rated number 1 in the world. Strategy. Number 4. Invest in brains, not resources. Singapore poured everything into education, technology, and attracting global talent. No oil? Build semiconductor factories? No farmland? Become a biotech leader. Geography gave Singapore nothing. So Singapore built everything. But if you think Singapore had it tough, try building a nation on top of active volcanoes. Iceland, an island sitting on the mid-Atlantic ridge, where 2 tectonic plates are literally tearing apart. Iceland has 130 plus volcanoes, 30 plus active, eruptions every 4 to 5 years on average, glaciers covering 11% of the land, brutal Arctic winters, isolated in the middle of the ocean. This is one of the most geologically unstable places on Earth. And yet, Iceland is ranked number 3 in the UN Human Development Index, one of the happiest countries on Earth, one of the most gender-equal societies, nearly 100% renewable energy, $60,000 plus GDP per capita. How do you thrive on a volcano? Strategy. Number 1. Turn danger into power. Iceland turned its volcanic activity into energy. Geothermal power plants tap into underground heat, providing 90% of heating for homes, 25% of electricity generation, basically free energy forever. They even heat greenhouses in the Arctic to grow tomatoes, bananas, and tropical plants. A volcano that could kill you now grows your food. Strategy. Number 2. Glaciers equals hydropower. Iceland's glaciers feed massive rivers, leads to hydroelectric dams, leads to more clean energy. Result? 85% of Iceland's total energy is renewable, almost entirely self-sufficient. Strategy. Number 3. Cheap energy equals big industry. With the cheapest electricity in Europe, Iceland attracted aluminum smelting, energy-intensive, data centers, Google, Microsoft, etc. Servers need cooling. Iceland has free cold air. Crypto mining operations. Strategy number 4. Sell the danger. Iceland turned its volcanic landscape into a tourism goldmine. 2.4 million tourists visit every year. That's 7 times the population, 380,000 people. They come for the volcanoes, glaciers, and northern lights. When a volcano erupts now, tour operators run trips to watch it. Geography gave Iceland fire and ice. Iceland said, "Perfect. We'll power the future and sell tickets." But volcanoes aren't the only impossible challenge. Try building a country in the desert, surrounded by enemies. Israel, a country that's 60% desert. The Negev Desert, one of the driest places on Earth. And when Israel was founded in 1948, it faced water scarcity, almost no rivers, limited rain, hostile neighbors on all sides, waves of immigrants with nowhere to house them, barely any arable land. David Ben-Gurion, Israel's first prime minister, famously said, "We will make the desert bloom." Most people thought he was insane. Strategy. Number 1. Drip irrigation revolution. Israeli engineer Simcha Blas invented drip irrigation in the 1960s, delivering water directly to plant roots, drop by drop. Result, minus 90% less water waste, farms in the desert. Israel now exports agricultural technology worldwide. They took a desert and made it a farm. Strategy. Number 2. Make water out of seawater. Israel built the world's most advanced desalination plants. Today, 85% of Israel's drinking water comes from desalinated seawater. A country with no water now has water surplus. Strategy. Number 3. Become startup nation. No natural resources. Invest in brains. Israel has more startups per capita than any country. Over 6,000 active startups. World leaders in cybersecurity, AI, medical tech companies like Waze, Mobileye, Checkpoint, all Israeli. Strategy. Number 4. Innovate to survive. Surrounded by threats, Israel built Iron Dome, missile defense system that's 90% plus effective. World-class military technology, intelligence and defense exports. Necessity truly is the mother of invention. Geography gave Israel a desert and enemies. Israel built a tech superpower. But what if your city is literally sinking? Venice, a city built on 118 islands in a shallow lagoon. No roads, no cars, just water and 400-plus bridges. Venice was founded over 1,500 years ago by people fleeing barbarian invasions. They built on water because it was the one place invaders couldn't easily reach. For centuries, it worked. Venice became a maritime superpower, the richest city in Europe, a trading empire connecting East and West. But geography has a long memory. Venice is sinking. Subsidence, ground sinking, approximately 2 millimeters per year. Sea level rising, approximately 3 millimeters per year. Combined, Venice is losing approximately 5 millimeters of elevation annually. Major floods, called aqua alta, are now happening 60-plus days per year. St. Mark's Basilica has flooded more in the last 20 years than in the previous 1,000 years. Geography says, Venice is doomed. But Venice says, not yet. Strategy. Number 1. Mose Project. Italy spent $7 billion building the Mose barriers, massive underwater gates that rise up to block storm surges from flooding the lagoon. When activated, they've successfully protected Venice from catastrophic flooding. Strategy number 2. Preservation as industry. Venice turned its sinking status into urgency marketing. See Venice before it sinks. Result: 25 to 30 million tourists per year. Tourism generates $3+ billion annually for a city of only 50,000 residents. Strategy number 3. Global heritage status. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Venice receives international funding for preservation. It's no longer just Italy's problem. It's the world's problem. Geography is slowly drowning Venice. But Venice is fighting with engineering, tourism, and global solidarity. Will it last another 1,000 years? No one knows. But for now, Venice refuses to sink. And finally, what happens when a city built on oil runs out of oil? Dubai. In 1990, this was empty desert, a tiny fishing and pearl diving village with barely 50,000 people. Then, in the 1960s, they found oil. And for 30 years, Dubai got rich off oil money. But here's the problem. Dubai's oil is running out. By 2030, oil will be gone. Most oil-rich places panic when the oil runs out. Dubai did the opposite. They used oil money to build a post-oil economy. Today, oil is only 1% of Dubai's GDP. Let me say that again. 1%. Strategy. Number 1. Become the global hub. Dubai positioned itself as the aviation hub. Dubai Airport equals third busiest in the world. The logistics hub, Jebel Ali Port, equals ninth largest. The tourism destination, 20+ million visitors per year. The business hub, tax-free zones attract global companies. Strategy. Number 2. Build the impossible. Dubai built the world's tallest building, Burj Khalifa, 828 meters. Artificial islands shaped like palm trees, visible from space. Indoor sky slopes in the desert. The world's largest mall. Why? Because audacity sells. Strategy. Number 3. Luxury brand identity. Dubai marketed itself as the luxury destination. If you want opulence, extravagance, futuristic living, you go to Dubai. Strategy. Number 4. Invest in the future. Dubai is now pushing into AI and tech, renewable energy, massive solar projects, space exploration, UAE Mars mission. Geography gave Dubai sand and a deadline. Dubai built a city that doesn't need what made it rich. The oil is almost gone. But Dubai? Dubai is just getting started. 5 places. 5 impossible challenges. Singapore had nothing, so they built everything. Iceland had volcanoes, so they made energy. Israel had desert, so they made it bloom. Venice is sinking, so they engineered solutions. Dubai ran out of oil, so they became the future. Here's the lesson. Geography creates the board, but humans decide how to play the game. Yes, geography shapes where we live, what resources we have, and what challenges we face. But innovation, strategy, and sheer human stubbornness can beat almost any geographic disadvantage. If you want more stories about how geography shapes and fails to stop the world, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.